The Netflix documentary about Diddy, Diddy The Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced. There's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and document his life. That footage ended up going to...
You thought the first season was explosive. Buckle up, because 50 Cent is back, and he's pulling no punches. 7 new targets, 7 reputations about to implode, and a Netflix doc that's about to make headlines hotter than a paparazzi pool party at Kim K's mansion. Who's on the chopping block this time? Executives, rappers, industry power players, maybe even people you've never suspected. Did Diddy just get off easy in season 1? Is Snoop Dogg really going to stay silent?
But let the people know, because it was too early back then. You know, Pot just had died.
So this one night, 50 called me up, and you know, they got him on the phone, man. He was just talking. We was talking about old time shit, you know, sit down with Black Hands, sit down with, you know, with Puff Kids, the whole Puff situation, and this documentary that he's going.
Or is he about to enter the firestorm? And what about the shadowy figures lurking behind the scenes? The ones who thought their skeletons were safely tucked away. Guess again. The leaks, the footage, the whispers from anonymous insiders, they're all coming together in a narrative that's messy, scandalous, and utterly irresistible. Can anyone survive the Combs treatment twice? Or is this the moment the entire music industry collectively loses its cool? Stay with me, because by the end of this breakdown, your favorite stars might not look so untouchable anymore.
Be showing how, you know, Snoop, he did the Steve Harvey show with Diddy after Tupac got killed. Check this out.
Okay. Let's download right now.
Then you look at the scenario how everybody used Pac to make their stuff famous or make their project better. You got people who use their songs for Pac and tell them how much they love Pac, but they do songs for Puffy. You got Steve Harvey, old big ass, you know, this motherfucker telling, well, Pac going to everybody else. He brings Snoop and Puffy on there and say, these are dudes who's running this in the East Coast, West Coast.
What's up, Snoop?
What's up, Puff? Hey, whoa, wait a minute, fellas here, hold on. You know, I know all about this East Coast, West Coast rivalry thing here, but we in Chicago now. This rivalry stuff, we gotta stop it, man. We stop that, we stop a lot of this violence.
Yo, Steve, check this, man. All that East Coast, West Coast stuff is a bunch of media hype. It's been my dog from day one, you know what I'm saying? It's all good between me and him. That's my people.
Real, that's what we came in for. We came in and light it up and ride it up. We never used to hand.
Now, Pac, if you love Pac so much, how you with the motherfucker that everybody say got something to do with the first get down that happened to Pac in New York, then the second one.
What you think about Suge comments? And I never asked you this before, but did you have an issue with Snoop hanging out with Diddy after Tupac got killed?
I always felt that was wrong. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm talking about from that, like now, okay, you know what I mean? I'm 46, Snoop probably early 50s. If he figured out now, he might go by the opinion that, okay, Puffy had nothing to do with Pac, you know, we grown now. If he want to be his friend, no problem. But back then, that was just awkward. You know what I mean? And the reason why it was awkward to me that I never even like it because you knew how Pac felt about this individual. You know what I mean? Even if you don't agree with him, you probably could have said, you know what, I probably ain't gonna come out, you know, publicly with this because until things clear up. So I really know I could be certain that, you know, they didn't have nothing to do with Pac. But it's like, it was no, you know, okay, it is what it is. So that I never really respected that back then.
So you had an issue with it. You didn't like it.
Never really liked it. It just was a strange look because you was Pac boy. You know what I mean? Puffy, you know, it's clear they had some issues with Pac. And Pac died and all of a sudden you chilling with Puffy. Back then it just, okay, now you can say what you want. You go, all grandfathers, I guess. You know what I mean? That's different now. But back then I think it was weird. It was tasteless. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like you really had that much love for Pac. You could have just, you know what I mean? Unless he pressured them or like questioned Puffy, like, yo, what's up with this? What's up with that? Then you could say
more. Are you ready to see the truth nobody else will tell you? Let's dive in. Season 2 of 50 Cent's Netflix documentary is not just a follow-up. It is a full-blown explosion set to rattle the foundations of the music world. and it starts with 7 new targets that are about to feel the heat like never before. These are not small names or minor players. We are talking about moguls, industry heavyweights, and artists who have built empires and carefully curated their untouchable reputations. And now 50 Cent is about to shine a light on every corner they thought was safe. Rumors have been swirling, leaks have emerged, and insiders are already whispering that some of these figures have been involved in multi-million-dollar schemes that make shady business deals look like
You wanted to do for my deep, as if I was with. They don't know the backdrop of that. I went to his hotel room ready to fight. Like, bro, I'll fight everybody in that room one-on-one. Even if I lose, it doesn't matter. The Outlaws was with me. My homie Tiny, the Mexican homie, was with me. I didn't go there and say, let me get in a video with these guys. I went there knocking on their door, doom, doom, doom. Tell them dudes to come out. What's up with y'all? What's up with you and Pop? You got a problem with Pop? Because we could just fight like man to man, face to face, and then shake hands. That was my approach with them. But when they told me they didn't have no problem, I don't mind being with you. You know what I mean? I don't mind shaking your hand because they told me they had love for Pop. So that's different. You know what I mean? If he come out and say, well, I already, I questioned Puffy about it. I believe that he didn't, he loved Pop. That's my opinion. I can move the way I want to move. So when people try to, I noticed somebody, I think on your page do that, where Napoleon was in the video with Mobb Deep. They don't know how I got in that video with Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? I pulled up on him but I'm the type of person, I've never been a bully type of person. You know what I mean? If I talk to a person like a man and they tell me face to face, look, I got love for Pop, I'm comfortable to know if I can look in their eyes that if I believe what they said, I have the right to say, okay, no problem, I believe you. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what Snoop went through. I don't know. But let the people know, because it was too early back then. Pop just had died. You know what I mean? Like, he had the right to say, the reason why I'm rolling with Puffy, I questioned him about my homie. He gave me this answer. So then he did what he had to do. But it just, you know what I mean? I never really agree with that, to be honest. The same way I couldn't be on the stage with him. When they wanted to do that tribute, I just couldn't do it. Like, I really felt in my heart
like child's play, funneling money behind the scenes, orchestrating alliances, and playing power games that could rival any Hollywood thriller. Sources close to the production say the spending habits revealed are private jets, luxury cars, gold-plated studio equipment, and mansions that look more like private resorts than homes. And every meeting in those spaces was a calculated play, a chess move where one wrong step could destroy a career. Imagine the tension when 50 Cent, master strategist and king of confrontation, shows up on camera armed with evidence, old footage, and insider testimony while his targets sit under the spotlight knowing that every gesture, every word, and every past mistake could be dissected in front of millions. Some of these individuals have histories that stretch back decades, old rivalries, financial missteps, whispered betrayals, and yet they have always walked through life believing their power shielded them. And now, the doc exposes just how fragile that illusion really was. The leak suggests some encounters on set were electric. People pacing, sweating, consulting lawyers in real PR teams in full panic mode, and even casual conversations carried the weight of high-stakes negotiations because no one knew what might surface in the next cut. Fans online are already going wild, dissecting every frame, speculating who will apologize.
Filming himself and getting this footage because he thought he was going to beat everything. Okay,
Diddy
that makes sense. Okay.
has a relationship
Netflix. I knew that.
with
Ted Sarandis. I saw that. Yes. Okay.
and he's filming it there. But of course, when you get, obviously it wasn't a clean sweep on the prosecutor's side, but you're still going to prison.
Yeah.
He basically kind of scraps it. It's not also Netflix is saying, because they commissioned it, right? Netflix is saying, all right, cool. Just turn over what you got. And what we'll do, we'll make it what it is because we're just following reality. Diddy's like, well, hold on now. If I lost the case, I'm down to still do it with you, but I got to be able to control it. Now, Diddy was probably going to kind of shape this doc to make it look like, hey, this was malicious prosecution. They kind of went really hard at me. Mm-hmm. I'm not a perfect guy, but I am a good guy.
Yeah.
And Diddy was like, I need to be able to craft it. And Netflix was like, no, you're not. And he's like,
well, my question is, did he sign the footage over to Netflix so they own it? Mm-mm. Like, how were they able to do this without his?
No, but he didn't pay for it. So essentially, they're calling it a payment error. So essentially, the deal falls apart, or he's like, yeah, we're not going to do
So
this.
awkward.
And the
Oh my
people who
gosh.
did the work that have all this footage, they're like, so wait, you told us to film because this is going to be on Netflix. Now you're saying Netflix doesn't exist and we're not getting paid because Diddy was going to pay with Netflix money. And Netflix realized this and they went to the filmers and said, hey,
apologize, who will vanish quietly, and who will go down in flames. And that is exactly the environment 50 Cent thrives in, turning tension into theater while maintaining a grin that screams he knows exactly what is coming. Each revelation is more than just scandal, it is a domino that could topple multiple industries, not just music, because many of these figures are intertwined with fashion, nightlife, and corporate ventures. And one misstep could trigger financial panic, social media chaos, and career-ending fallout. Season 2 is crafted not with recycled gossip, but with fresh insight, documents, and footage that appear almost accidental. And the effect is electrifying. A powder keg that promises to ignite the internet and every fan with a thirst for drama. The doc doesn't just narrate events, it dissects power, ego, and influence with precision, revealing how carefully constructed facades crumble under scrutiny. And knowing 50 Cent, there will be no mercy, no subtlety, just relentless exposure that will leave viewers questioning not only the characters involved but the very nature of fame, trust, and loyalty in a world built on appearances. As the footage rolls and the revelations hit, the tension builds to almost unbearable levels because what 50 Cent exposes is not just shady deals or inflated egos, it is a network of manipulation and influence that has silently shaped the industry for decades, and now stands fully illuminated under the unforgiving lens of truth. Insiders claim that behind closed doors some of these figures have been orchestrating collaborations, sabotaging competitors, and even leveraging their connections to political and corporate powers to shield themselves from accountability, while maintaining a polished public image that screams success and untouchable prestige. And the shock comes when viewers start to see the cracks, the inconsistencies, the lavish lifestyles funded by questionable means, and the hidden rivalries that have fueled years of silent wars and clandestine alliances. It is reported that some targets were visibly shaken when confronted with footage of meetings, private recordings, and financial documents that they believed were long buried. And this is where 50 Cent's mastery of strategy comes into play, turning evidence into narrative, pressure into spectacle, and suspicion into undeniable proof that the world has not seen before. Public reaction has been instantaneous, with social media erupting into speculation, memes, heated debates, and conspiracy theories as
rhetoric is absolutely next level. And this totally ties in with, how he famously is a big fan of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Now, rhetoric with a capital R, I can just give you the definition of that. That's basically public speech, particularly public speech that is to persuade. Any persuasive public speech is rhetoric, right? Now, we kind of break that down into two subcategories of rhetoric with a lowercase r and dialectic. Rhetoric is essentially everything else, and really what moves the needle with like 97% of people and 100% of groups, okay, is in fact rhetoric with the lowercase r. So again, stuff like this, 50 Cent is an absolute master of. Basically, he dropped this doc, this Sean Puffy Combs doc, and it's just kind of set the internet on fire. It's beating out Stranger Things. Like, it's a wild ride to watch, right? And one of the things that he does is he breaks down Diddy's character
theories as viewers dissect every frame, every expression, and every hint of interaction between the players involved. Insiders reveal that the level of secrecy breached in this documentary has never been attempted before, and the audacity of exposing such figures while navigating legal and reputational minefields is described as a calculated risk that could have backfired spectacularly, but instead created a whirlwind that even the most seasoned publicists cannot contain. Some commentators are calling it a seismic shift in how documentaries can affect perception, influence stock prices, and even sway internal corporate power dynamics, because the footage suggests that the influence of these 7 new targets extends far beyond the music industry, intertwining
because he wanted them to both Suge and Pac
in the car.
They only Pac, and they don't Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000. And that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the chain, the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain. Because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing is a recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower.
In this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just gonna start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm gonna take your records off the radio. Then I'm gonna erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out, flies. I'm gonna do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to...
Aligning with fashion, endorsements, and private enterprises, and the implications of this are staggering. Financial experts speculate that if any of the highlighted practices are investigated further, it could lead to lawsuits, resignations, and a reconfiguration of who holds sway in entertainment, while anonymous sources hint that some former allies are reconsidering partnerships and contracts. Quietly recalculating risk and loyalty, legal analysts caution that although no charges have been filed yet, the exposure alone has already caused reputational damage that is almost...
For being out there and allowing Misa to come out there to make money, however she was doing it, to feed her family. He vowed down that it's like, yo, I ain't never f***ing with her again, and I ain't never f***ing with him again. Puff and Suge had a conversation behind the House of Blues about was we all right, and Tupac was alive. Tupac wasn't dead. So if it was a war, Suge ain't having no conversation with Puff about we good. I know he could be doing the Hoboken hustle, trying to fool him, brother. But had he killed my man or something like that, I wouldn't have no conversation with Puff. I'd been like, yo, you know what y'all niggas done? You know what happened? And it wasn't no conversation like that, brother. There wasn't no conversation whereas that, Suge made Puff feel like I'm gonna get you a payback for what happened to Jake. This was more so that Puff, for whatever reason, Suge, for whatever reason, he was mad at Puff. And Puff, for whatever reason, he was mad at Suge. It was between them two. It wasn't no whole East Coast wanted the West Coast dead, and the West Coast wanted East Coast to dead, because they still was going out, still chilling, still at places with each other. It was Bad Boy, and it was Death Row. It was no East Coast and no West Coast. West Coast dudes were still coming out on the East Coast getting love. East Coast niggas was still going out on the West Coast getting love. It was Bad Boy versus Death Row. And that's what it was, bro. And it was because of the two CEO. But Suge tried to straighten it out. I gotta get at the Suge. The Death Row East Coast, the Death Row East was going to bring in Eric B. It was going to bring in Big D. And those brothers was from the East Coast. So now they was looking for a representative to come to the meeting from Bad Boy so they could straighten out the between Pac and Big and Death Row and Bad Boy. And Puff is the one who refused. Puff is the one to refuse to send a representative or either come himself. And got mad at Zip and them because they were in the Mirage on 57th Street partying with Suge Knight. Got mad at them. And Zip hung up the phone on behind that.
Almost impossible to reverse, and the tension is compounded because viewers cannot help but ask if this is just the beginning of a domino effect that will pull even more hidden players into the light. As fans continue to dissect every detail and speculate on who will crumble, who will fight back, and who will manage to survive unscathed, it becomes clear that this is more than a documentary. It is a blueprint of power, deception, and consequence. A high-stakes revelation that leaves the audience questioning not just the integrity of the individuals involved, but the very system that allowed such influence to go unchecked for so long. And the question that lingers in every viewer's mind is whether accountability will finally catch up, or if the cycle of rumor, manipulation, and survival will continue to dictate the hidden rules of the industry. So now the question is, what are you going to do with this information? Because the truth isn't going to wait for anyone. And every second you sit there scrolling could be a second someone else is rewriting the narrative or covering up what should already be exposed. And you have the power to be part of the conversation, to dissect, debate, and demand answers from those who think they are untouchable. Are you just going to sit back and let these stories pass like any other headline? Or are you going to dive in, question everything, and make your voice heard? Because the internet is alive with speculation, rumors, and half-truths. But you can separate fact from fiction if you pay attention, dig deeper, and refuse to be manipulated by flashy headlines. And don't think for a second that your comment, your share, or your take doesn't matter, because these platforms are where pressure builds, where accountability starts, and where the public can turn whispers into consequences. So hit that like button if you want to see more exposes like this. Subscribe so you never miss the next revelation that could change everything you thought you knew. And drop your thoughts in the comments, because the people who stay silent are the ones who let the story continue unchecked. And the ones who speak up are the ones who write the history that everyone else will be talking about tomorrow.